There are hundreds of Sonic the Hedgehog games, however, one of the few games that most Sonic fans mutually agree is at least somewhat decent is Sonic Generations. This game has been viewed by the Sonic community as standing the test of time and one of the most well-known and respected Sonic games. It has an 8.3 user score and a 77 Metascore. I'm going to dig deeper into Sonic Generations to see what they did right, what they did wrong, and why the Sonic community loves this game so much. And if you love Sonic, subscribe right now. The story starts with classic Sonic running around Green Hill and a dark-looking monster with gears on his back appears. It then cuts to Sonic having his birthday party where the monster shows up and steals all of Sonic's friends. Sonic gets knocked out and then wakes up in an empty room where he has to go to a white version of Green Hill. After playing the first level, Sonic meets Tails, followed by their classic counterparts, where it's revealed that the monster is called the Time Eater, and both classic Sonic and modern Sonic have to speed through time in order to save their friends. Most of the gameplay is playing 9 levels as modern and classic Sonic, and which are from all previous Sonic games. Along the way, Sonic must fight various bosses, play various side quests, and collect 7 Chaos Emeralds. At the end of the game, it's discovered that all of this is Dr. Eggman's doing, and classic and modern Sonic transform into their super form and defeat the Time Eater and Dr. Eggman. And after restoring everything, Dr. Eggman is trapped, and the game returns to Sonic's birthday, where classic Sonic says goodbye and returns to his timeline. Obviously, the story is not as impactful as Sonic Adventure 2, but rather the story kind of just exists. When it comes to modern Sonic's gameplay, this is where Sonic Generations really does a good job. This features the boosting gameplay that is similar to what you find in Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Colors. Obviously, as modern Sonic, your mission is to boost through each stage as fast as possible. Like Sonic games, you have obstacles in your way where you have to slide, do platforming, homing attack enemies to maintain your high speed. You also have to collect rings in order to fill up your boost meter. And once you understand the level is designed, it's very easy to blast through levels as fast as Sonic can run. Sonic Unleashed level design is mostly about reacting to obstacles, while Sonic Colors is more about platforming challenges, and Sonic Generations perfectly combines the both of them into one. And like many Sonic games, you have to constantly react to this, and this is where Sonic Generations fits so well. For example, you might have to slide or boost midair in order to reach a different path or take a shortcut. Speaking of platforming, Sonic Generations 2D sections have platforming challenges that do go on forever and do feel longer than Sonic Unleashed 2D platforming challenges. Despite this, it is mostly on you reacting to 2D sections and boosting the rest of the way. Some people may not like the 2D sections and boosting games, but it does feel like the levels are more dynamic and breaks the boosting up a bit, because after a while the just boosting it can start to get boring. When it comes to classic Sonic's gameplay, they also did a mostly good job with him. It takes classic Sonic's gameplay from Sonic 1, 2, 3, and CD and modernizes it. The momentum and controls is not perfect, but it's certainly better than how classic Sonic was handled in Sonic Forces. The platforming is in general very efficient and precise, to where the spin dash can be very overpowering, and it's actually a problem because when you press the button on the controller and let go, Sonic just shoots off much further than he really should. And in classic Sonic's games, the backgrounds have also been important statements, and this was no exception. They made the levels stand out and were very unique, and the power-ups were also a good feature, which made the game a lot more fun, along with the intense platforming. When it comes to both modern Sonic and classic Sonic, there are so many different routes and paths in these levels. Seaside Hill and Crisis City are two of the best examples, as they are extremely expansive levels, and even after playing them multiple times in a row, you can still get surprised to suddenly find new paths you've never played before. All 9 levels are taken from previous Sonic games and have cut out portions and are simplified to make it a bit easy. For example, the ranking system allows you to get an S rank and does not factor into the time as much as it should, and I think that Sonic Generations would have been more complete if it used ranking systems that were more like what you found in Sonic Frontiers, where it is quite a challenge to find the most efficient and fastest path through the level. And this would only allow you to get an S rank if you fully mastered the stage. When it comes to the soundtrack of the game, they also made a lot of remixes from previous Sonic games, so by completing the side missions, you can also unlock new tracks, which do add to the complexity of the game and is a nice reward for 100%ing the game. Speaking of which, Sonic Generations has a lot of extra content which is not required to beat the main game. These side missions are really creative and allows you to experience the game in a whole new way. Characters like Tails, Knuckles, Vector, and Blaze are helpful and a good way to explore their powers, and some side missions are good while others have random objects objects, and the difficulty levels do vary greatly. It also includes harder boss battles, which are a lot more fun. And there's also a lot of collectibles in the game where you can unlock various art pieces, power-ups, new abilities, and there's even a secret statue room where you can elect codes to find dozens of cool statues to celebrate Sonic's history. And lastly, the final boss was kind of odd. Classic Sonic only allows you to go forward, and modern Sonic is supposed to boost into his core, and it does not make too much sense. It was a wasted potential in that final boss. In conclusion, Sonic Generations might not be like Sonic Adventure 2 or Sonic Frontiers, but even after 12 years after the game has released, it still feels almost like a brand new game. It is a really good starter game that brings new people into the Sonic community because it is one of the easiest games, but also laid out and designed so nicely. And the best thing about the game is the fact it has so much replayability more than any other Sonic game. Sonic Generations is for sure one of the top 5 Sonic games and a lot of fun to play. That's gonna do it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and remember, you gotta go fast!